How social media is secretly destroying your love life. You could be lying beside someone you love, breathing the same air, sharing the same bed, while your eyes stay fixed on a glowing screen where someone else's relationship seems brighter. You scroll through smiling selfies, inside jokes written beneath perfect lighting, short videos of couples who seem to have mastered joy, and somehow, even with the person you adore within reach, a wave of quiet isolation washes over you. That is the secret poison of social media. It doesn't simply shape how we see love. It rewires our expectations of what love should look like, sound like, perform like. Before we even notice, we start reaching for connection through pixels, while the living, breathing version sitting next to us begins to feel ghost-like. Social media doesn't merely display love, it curates it. Perfectly timed snapshots bathed in golden light make ordinary moments appear cinematic. You see couples laughing on beaches during golden hour, anniversaries celebrated with handwritten captions, weekend getaways framed to perfection. These highlight reels promise an effortless harmony that feels unattainable compared to your daily routine of mismatched schedules, laundry piles, and unfinished conversations. Even if you're in a loving, stable relationship, comparison still slips through like smoke. That tiny whisper sneaks in while you half awake. Why doesn't my relationship feel like that? Why aren't we posting adorable reels like them? Shouldn't love feel more exciting? That whisper becomes corrosion. Bit by bit, it rots the roots of the very thing sustaining you, not because your relationship is broken, but because you've begun grading its worth against a digital performance sculpted to impress strangers. You start doubting sincere intimacy simply because it isn't photogenic. And most of us don't even know we're doing it. Real relationships were never built for an audience. They are meant to be messy, rhythmic, at times painfully ordinary. Yet we scroll through perfection and forget that behind every flawless post might be an argument paused for a photo, a smile rehearsed between sighs. The camera never shows the silence afterward, the dishes left undone, the misunderstandings patched late at night. It shows only the moment engineered to convince both the viewer and the couple that happiness has been achieved. Here's where it turns deceptive. Social media not only shows love, it requests a performance. Almost everyone starts asking the same anxious questions. Should we post this together? Will people think we're happy? Did they like our vacation photo? Suddenly, affection becomes a public relations strategy. Love gets staged like theater, filtered, captioned, waiting for applause. Bit by bit, we begin curating proof of happiness rather than feeling happiness itself. A birthday dinner becomes less about taste and laughter and more about angles. Does the candlelight hit our faces right? Should we boomerang this toast? We collect evidence we're thriving, then measure the health of our relationship by numbers that never truly see us. When moments of conflict or disconnection surface, we hide them out of fear of seeming less perfect than the feed. We crop out tension, choosing a caption that pretends everything's glowing. But the performance grows heavy. Keeping up appearances is draining because authenticity cannot coexist with constant posing. Slowly, the effort of pretending steals the space where tenderness once lived. Real love is not meant for exhibition. The moments that build it, the inside jokes only two people share, the quiet forgiveness after misunderstanding, do not photograph well. Yet they are what keeps love alive when the world isn't watching. The more we perform, the more we lose the intimacy of simply existing together without proof. Another unseen cost of our digital age is abundance. The illusion that someone out there must be a better fit, a newer thrill, a shinier promise. Swipe culture is omnipresent, reminding us that attraction is only a scroll away. You can adore the person in front of you while simultaneously being tempted by a curated parade of other lives. Each post becomes comparison bait, a montage of beauty and availability. Your brain starts searching for novelty the way it hunts for dopamine hits. Even in contentment, you wonder what else is possible, and that wondering erodes appreciation. Commitment begins to look like limitation instead of security. We've mistaken unlimited access for unlimited possibility, when in truth, endless options often breed shallow connection. Real intimacy demands devotion to one imperfect story, not constant flirting with thousands of incomplete ones. Yet social media trains us to chase stimulation rather than stability. Love becomes something we update like an app, believing a new version will fix old bugs. But sustainable love was never meant to be upgraded, it was built to be nurtured. Most people never pause to realize this. social media has quietly turned love itself into a product. It is polished for display, packaged for consumption, and sold back to us as an aspiration. The constant feed turns relationships into marketing, and we, without meaning to, become both advertiser and audience. When affection turns into content, it slowly loses the qualities that make it real. Messy, patient, raw. The unseen moments where no one claps, the nights of compromise with no post to prove them. That humanness becomes invisible, replaced by aesthetics designed for validation. When the value of love becomes measured in views, love transforms into performance art. We forget that affection whispered in private carries more truth than any caption broadcast to thousands. The tragedy is that while acting happy online, many couples are quietly drifting apart offline. Once upon a time, being in love required nothing more than showing up emotionally and physically. Now there's an additional layer: public verification. We refresh stories to make sure our affection looks visible enough. Delay a reply, miss a post, skip an anniversary shout-out, and digital silence turns into emotional suspicion. Are you mad at me? You liked someone else's photo first. We have surrendered tranquility for hyper-awareness. Social media turns affection into currency. Likes, emojis, comments all become signals of validation. We have confused attention with devotion and interaction with intimacy, yet they are not the same. Being constantly seen does not guarantee being truly understood. Love built on algorithms will always fear invisibility because its foundation depends on visibility. In reality, love flourishes best in spaces untethered to observation, where two people engage for meaning, not metrics. Living under permanent surveillance changes how we express affection. Instead of vulnerability, we craft impressions. Instead of spending evenings in conversation, we glance at screens to confirm that our significance is still reflected back through a feed. The quiet presence that sustains connection gets replaced with virtual noise. No wonder real intimacy feels foreign. It demands an attention span we've trained out of ourselves. Protecting your relationship today is not about deleting every account. It's about reclaiming intention. Love needs gentle boundaries. It needs privacy the way lungs need air. Give it space to breathe by putting your phone face down at dinner. Talk without filming. Celebrate anniversaries without feeling obligated to craft a montage. Allow your connection to exist even when no one else can see it, because unseen love is still love, sometimes deeper, because it belongs only to its participants. It is healthy to have sacred things, moments that live only in memory rather than on a grid. Secrets that are not secret but simply private. When a laugh echoes between you and does not reach the internet, it gains a kind of purity. The most powerful intimacy often happens when no one else bears witness, because the act of not sharing becomes proof that you have something worth protecting. Remember that withholding a moment from public view is not hiding. It is honoring. There is a world of difference between secrecy that deceives and privacy that safeguards tenderness. The former distances souls, the latter strengthens them. Every time you decide a moment is too precious for a lens, you reclaim love from commodification. You return it to the quiet where it belongs. Social media did not invent our longing, it exploited it. It gave shape to the oldest human ache, the need to be seen. The platforms magnify instincts that already lived inside us. The likes are not villains. They are mirrors. The danger comes when we forget we do not owe our miracles to an audience. It is tempting to romanticize a pre-digital era and curse technology, but the real task is learning discernment. To use these spaces consciously rather than unconsciously. To remember that every click can either distance or deepen connection depending on presence. The goal is not abstinence, it is awareness. So maybe it is time to take your love off the timeline. To silence the need for constant witnesses. To stop auditioning for validation and start tending the gentle, unrecorded parts of your life. Hold the person you love a little closer, not for likes, not for optics, but simply because you can. Because they are real. Because this moment, unposted, unfiltered, unperformed, is enough. Not everything beautiful belongs to an audience. Some things become sacred precisely because they stay unseen. Let your love be one of them. When you choose private over public, presence over performance, you remind yourself that connection was never meant to be broadcast. It was meant to be lived. And somewhere beyond the noise of the feed, two real hearts might finally remember how to hear each other again.